Bernie Sanders' campaign continues to have an effect on the Democratic Party. His criticism of superdelegates has caused the state Democratic Party in California on Sunday to call for the elimination of superdelegates. Now, this is according to the LA Times. The party, the Democratic Party of California, has issued a resolution urging the Democratic National Committee to change its nominating rules for the 2020 presidential election. Now, of course, right now, this is sort of non-binding, but really what it is to urge the party to reconsider its use of superdelegates. Now, superdelegates are, of course, the lobbyists and insiders and fundraisers, and sometimes governors, as well as people who are serving in Congress. Those people get to make a choice at the Democratic National Convention of who the party's nominee wants to be. Now, of course, that is highly undemocratic, and Bernie Sanders and myself and a lot of media outlets and even Hillary Clinton supporters have all pointed out how undemocratic that actually is, the superdelegate system. And it was created, of course, to keep a popular within the party candidate, but weak in the general, to be able to go out in the general and lose. They're trying to prevent the loss of a general election like what happened with George McGovern, who was actually very popular within the Democratic Party and won the nomination. So basically, their whole role was to stop democracy in favor of winning. Well, that's pretty messed up. And a lot of people are saying, well, we're not gonna go. We don't want to go with that system anymore. We don't need that system anymore. Things are different, and we should have never went in that direction in the first place. In fact, one of those saying this is the daughter of House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi. This is Christine Pelosi, who, by the way, is also a superdelegate herself, said this, quote, "It's very exciting and healing for our party to be able to make such a strong statement that we believe in democracy and that our leaders should never trump the will of the voters." She supports this resolution, and she wants to get rid of the superdelegate system. Now, this is something that we've been calling for a while. It's bullshit that a candidate can go into a primary with 400 or so pledged superdelegates before voting even begins. That's insanity. And that obviously creates the illusion that this person that has the superdelegates is ahead. Even though superdelegates, as I said, they don't vote until the convention. Now, I kind of want to think about how many people were going to vote, but then saw the massive leads of superdelegates. And I'm not just talking about this election. I'm talking about a lot of the other elections preceding this one, where people will take a look at the superdelegate lead and go, well, gee, I'm going to vote for the winner. Or I'm not going to vote at all. Look at how much of a lead this person has over the candidate that I like. How much did this depress the votes? How much has this depressed turnout since it was first created? It's a pretty good question. And there's no real way of actually knowing the answer. But it is something to think about, especially when you consider the entire system was made to usurp democracy. Now, the resolution doesn't just call for the elimination of superdelegates. It also has something else in there that I wholeheartedly support. And that is, we're replacing all state caucuses with straight primaries. Well, now some of you might point out, well, Bernie Sanders won a lot of caucuses. Yeah, that doesn't really matter because caucuses are outdated. Primaries are definitely more democratic. I'm in favor of more democracy. See, something that is different from us, from other candidates' supporters, is that we actually all believe in democracy. We actually say, look, this system sucks. The caucus system is terrible. It worked great in 1894, but it's 2016 now. Maybe we should update the thing. Maybe we should fix the system or unfix the system so that it's more representative of the people. And not only that, but it's easier to do. It's easier to cast your vote in a primary than to sit in a caucus room all day for 8, maybe more hours during this caucus. Plus, it doesn't even measure popular votes. So you don't even get a popular vote count from all of this. There are many reasons that this should be changed. So this is another good thing to have this tacked on. And so, look, California isn't the only one that has pledged to, has called to change superdelegates. Actually, Maine has as well. And I think many more states will continue to follow. And maybe if enough do, we could see the end of this superdelegate system. And that right there, on its merit, would be an absolute win for democracy.